Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Neko gives you some information that you may or may not know. On today's topic, we'll be talking about the Genesis weapon, and I'm talking about this topic today because Challenger World 3 is coming along really fast. I think it's about in 2 or 3 weeks, and in Challenger World 3, the update will release something called the Genesis Pass, and a lot of friends I noticed don't really know what the Genesis weapon is or how to do the quest for it or how to unlock it. So here today I will explain everything you need to know about the Genesis weapon. So you may be asking yourself, what the heck is a Genesis weapon and how do I even get the quest for it? You actually can unlock the quest at level 255, and after you, I believe, go through the last stage of Lima, the Tenebrous area, where you kind of encounter Black Mage and you defeat Black Mage, and there's like a bunch of cutscenes and stuff that you actually have to go through if you've never done it before. And if you have done it, I believe you can just skip everything, and then afterwards there will be a quest in your little happy little quest bubble on top of your head right here. You will see something called Genesis Weapon After the Destined Battle. So click that and accept the quest, and you will be now prompted a bunch of kind of like little missions that you have to do. Let's do it together. Talk, 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 talk. And after completing the quest, quote unquote, you will be now given this little beautiful, scary looking menu. Even if you exit out of it, you can go back to it in your quest bubble, and it's the first thing, which is, or technically the second thing, your Genesis weapon. Click that and press complete, and you will then automatically be moved into a long freaking cutscene. See you guys after this, I guess. So in this box is your Genesis weapon, and while receiving it, it'll be locked, and you will be doing a bunch of missions to essentially unlock your Genesis weapon to liberate it. And by liberating it, you will then get your best in slot weapon. And now you can get the heck out of this place. After getting out of that cutscene, you will be given this beautiful sealed Genesis box. Double click it to receive your sealed Genesis weapon. Since I am a Hayato, or I made a Hayato, it will give me a katana. Let me grab it. And the first mission is to get the traces of Von Leon, the Lion King, and you will then have to go on and sadly talk to Nineheart. Is that how you say his name? Nineheart? And he'll essentially accept the quest for you. And now you can finally get out of this place, and your Genesis weapon mission has officially started. This is very important. Throughout any of your time holding on to your Genesis weapon, which I actually have in my inventory, just always have it equipped somewhere. Like, always have it equipped so you don't accidentally throw it away. You can absolutely accidentally throw it away, and if you've already liberated and you throw it away, you actually have to restart the whole entire quest line and you lose your weapon permanently. So I repeat, at any time, do not think that you can tee-hee and throw it away thinking you can't throw it away. You actually can, and if you are in the middle of your progression and you throw it away, you actually still have to restart from the first quest. So I repeat, future Neko here, do not throw away your Genesis weapon and at all times. Just keep it in your third slot or your second slot, and you just wear it. You wear it, you don't keep it in your inventory unless like you have to upgrade it. The only time that you should have your Genesis weapon in your inventory is if you are on the 5th quest and then the first awakening and the last and final awakening where your Genesis weapon becomes fully liberated. And any other time, please just keep your item in your equipment slot 3 or equipment slot 2, not your main one, so you don't accidentally throw it away and essentially lose all the progression that you had, because I don't know why they made that. It's kind of silly, especially since it's one of the weapons that like is essentially your end game, one of your end game weapons or your best in slot weapons, and I don't know why you can just throw it away like it's just, I don't know, some stinky item you don't need or something. But yeah, do Do not throw it away, or else. You hear me? Don't throw it away. Okay, so what the heck am I supposed to do now with the sealed Genesis weapon? Well, this is where you go back to your light bulb and you go back to the trailing of the traces in the black mage thingy-mabobby. And then your first task is to kill this lovely man here called Von Leon with only your sealed Genesis weapon and your secondary, I believe. So how you would do that is essentially you would go into your item preset and you would change your preset to like maybe a random one. I'll pick 3 and then go on and remove every single item you have along with your current weapon, but we'll be replacing that anyways. So everything, including your emblem, your jacket, your hoodie, your pants, your shoes, literally remove everything and wear your Genesis weapon, and you can keep your secondary for now. And then you would go back into the quest and you would essentially kill him, and that is your first quest. So let's go on, try and do that. We are going to kill Von Leon, and this is him, this little lion dude here. And when you try to kill him, there will be a tab called the Genesis tab. It is essentially hard mode of Von Leon, the Genesis tab. You enter and it'll tell you that you have to defeat it alone. You can only equip your Genesis weapon and your secondary. And you know, if you are a Kana, you can equip the Genesis weapon and your fan, but I'm not a Kana. So yeah, let's start the mission. So after you kill this lovely man right here, I don't even know if I can kill him because I don't even know if I'm strong enough, but we'll see. So now that we killed Mr. Von Leon in the Genesis mode, our quest here should say that we have completed it. So if you go back to the Genesis trailing, we would say that clear it already. And now you may be asking, oh Neko, what the heck is Traces of Darkness and how do I get it? That's a great question. We'll get to it right now. So after defeating Von Leon, you're like, okay, how the heck do I still get Traces of Darkness? Like, why is it still at 0? How do I get it? Like, what do I have to do to obtain it? You actually have to kill bosses like Lotus, Damien, Lucid, Will, Gloom, Vihela, Darknail, and Black Mage in any difficulty to gather points. The harder difficulty it is, the more points that you will eventually get. So in this next patch that we're gonna have, which is Challenger World 3, Nexon will be releasing something called the Genesis Pass for $30, 30 American dollars, and you can essentially purchase it to expedite your point obtaining. And that essentially means now by doing Lotus, let's say Lotus only gives you like 10 points per run, like if you solo it, it's now 3 times that. So instead of 10 points, you get 30 points. However, I will say if you do end up duoing with a friend or, you know, making parties by collecting it, you will essentially have to share those points. So the total points would be divided by the number of friends in your party. So for example, if I duo, instead of taking 30 per person, I will now have 15 per person. Now, the Genesis Pass is actually, you do and you don't need it. If you want to progress a lot faster and essentially start quote unquote playing the game and learning harder bosses, it is such a great opportunity for you to essentially liberate your character by now having this best in slot weapon to essentially play the game. But it is $30. So if you also end up deciding not to spend $30, that's completely okay too. It'll just take a very long time. And I put a calculator in the description so you can actually see how long the comparison would be if you do it with the pass versus if you do it without the pass. Some say that it takes around 11 weeks if you do everything hard mode and if you solo it, down to around 4 weeks. However, that is if you do solo it. As a new and returning player, I actually ended up taking, even with the pass, I ended up taking around like 3 to 4 months completing everything, and that's only getting the Traces of Darkness, right? Like you actually still have to do all these quests, like you have to kill Arcarium after you kill Von Leon, and then you also have to kill Magnus. With these 3 beginner boxes, so Von Leon, Arcarium, and Magnus, you have to equip only your Genesis weapon and your secondary. And after Magnus, you are now going on to Lotus. Lotus, I believe, takes like 1,000 traces. Correct me if I'm wrong. know, I haven't gone to Lotus in quite a long time. I liberated already with one of my characters. This is one of my bossing mules. And with Lotus, you can actually wear your whole set, your whole normal set, even with, you can defeat him without the Genesis weapon. So I actually, funny story, the first time that I defeated Lotus, I was just wearing my emblem and, or what was it? I was just wearing, this was it. I was wearing my Genesis weapon and my secondary. And I think that gave me like around 5 mil CP. And I was like wet noodle bonking Lotus, thinking like, why is it not, like, why am I not being able to kill it? And it turns out that I actually can wear my normal equipment and beef up my weapon and like my CP a little. And so that's a fun fact, you know, you can actually, beyond Lotus, you can wear your normal gear to do everything. And after Lotus, it unlocks it, but it's not the full potential of your Genesis weapon. So you then have to go through Damien, and then you have to go through Will, and you have to go through Lucid, and you have to finally end up with Vihilla. And I do want to let you guys know, I think even without the Genesis pass, you are able to essentially do these missions with a friend. However, these missions from Lotus and starting with Lotus will decrease the amount of final damage if there is more than 2 people, essentially. And the only one that I struggled with and I had to duo was Will, because Will, for any of you who even tried doing Will, we all know he's kind of stinky, and he is one of the hardest bosses, or beginner bosses essentially, for you to learn and kind of understand the mechanics of. That said, I do also want to mention every single boss that you defeat is on hard mode, except Vihilla. She is, I think, 25% less HP than hard, so that helps a little bit. So if you do know how to do Vihilla, if you don't and you're like, oh my god, I'm so stressed out, I don't know how to do any of these bosses, don't you worry. If you guys actually want like a little boss, overview, then just comment below and maybe I could help you guys out. I could make a video or even like teach you guys some bosses. Just like reach out and I'll do my best to help a bunch of new and beginning friends, because this game's about community and making friends and having those people and progressing together as friends, because why would you want to play solo story when you can play ahaha maple story, ahaha haha. But yeah, after completing the last mission, your weapon is now essentially liberated. And look at the difference. Like, you can potential it, you can cube it, and it's an automatic 22-star best in slot weapon. And you can also flame it, and it counts as a, I think, free weapon. So it can essentially use it on any gear and it will be that weapon slot. So you know how like you can have bonus slots on Apso Labs, and if it counts towards, I think it counts just towards like one of those, like you can just wear the Genesis weapon and also still have the set stat. That's fun. The Genesis weapon is something that most friends will struggle with, and most friends will it's a big hurdle to go over, but it is something that you will eventually have. So even if, again, like even if you bought the pass and you think like, oh my god, I'm kind of stressed out, like will I make it? Yeah, you probably will make it if you have a support system. And even if you don't have a support system, I'm here for you guys, right? Like I'm here for you guys. So if you guys need help with anything, do let me know so I can like help everybody out. And on top of everything, the Genesis Pass does give you something called the it'll give you more buffs on top of everything. Since it is like, in a sense, like you have to pay for it, you get a free after finishing the quest line, you get a soul, like a magnificent soul that you can choose. It's the same effect. You can choose any of your favorite monsters, bosses. You can choose any of your favorite bosses, and you get either 3% magic attack if you are a mage, or 3% attack power if you are physical damage. So that's like a huge gain. And plus, like if you guys decide to join our guild in Challenger World, we are actually doing a Genesis Pass giveaway. So do look forward to that. and our guild is currently a secret before I release it. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are super interested and want to know more, do let me know. Hi friends, Future Neko here. I just wanted to remind everybody that it's okay if you don't buy the Genesis Pass if you're not ready for it, nor if you don't know what the heck you're doing. I know for a fact that you will be peer pressured into getting the pass by either content creators or your friends or people who play the game for a very long time, or even your guild members. I know I was on the same boat last Challenger World. I was essentially peer pressured into buying this pass, and I had absolutely no idea what the heck I was doing, and I was just essentially stressing myself out, you know. I don't want you guys to feel the same. So especially since I know that everybody will say, oh my god, this is a great opportunity, why won't you get the pass? That's the reason. You know, like, pass like this will come back. It was there, it will come back. And so even if you're not ready to get it either this patch, you can get it next Challenger World, or you can get it when you understand the bosses a little bit more and you're ready for it. Like, you can even get it a month into Challenger World. It's okay to not get it right away. And I just want you guys to know that if you guys are ever lost, just comment and ask questions, join our community, I don't know, do anything that will help you guys out. But yeah, just don't get peer pressured into getting something that you're not ready for. That's all. Now with that said, the Genesis questline will definitely take a while, but you do have to tell yourself that it is okay to take your time on things, because some friends already know how to do everything, so they'll probably finish it before anybody else, right? And you know, some creators will probably teach you how to do things like super fast. That's okay, but here we like to take things slow, and we like to kind of understand what we're doing the first time before we kind of jump in. And because I do hear a bunch of creators say oh my god, get the Genesis Pass, it's so good. And unfortunately, that's what happened to me as well. I didn't know what I was doing before I even got myself into getting the Genesis Pass. You know, I freaked out about it. I thought that, oh, I didn't have enough time to finish it, I'm not gonna liberate. You know, a lot of guilds on MapleStory only take people that have been liberated or have these crazy weapons, endgame weapons, where then it kind of gives this terrible gap between new and returning friends who absolutely have no idea what they're doing versus these stinky, sweaty tryhards in a way, right? So I would suggest everybody to take their time, do their research before even attempting getting this pass. It is a great resource. I'm not saying it's not a great resource. It is a great resource. It will progress you a lot farther than you have ever gone, and it'll actually give you the chance and opportunity to do some of the harder bosses. But at the same time, it's you do have to know what the heck you're doing before, you know, you do commit on something like this pass, because I know it's called Global MapleStory, right? $30 might be, I think, $50 Canadian, or even more in other countries. And so do understand that it's okay if you don't get it, and you know, if you do get it, then it's a perfect time for you to learn a next level of bosses and makes it slightly more challenging. Don't you worry about not completing the Genesis Pass, because let's say you are on I don't know, Lucid, right? And you have Hewwwwoooooo left to go and your Genesis Pass expires. You will not lose any of your progress. You will just be on Lucid, and it'll take you maybe a couple more months to finish with Hewwwwoooooo. So it is completely okay if you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. Take things one step at a time. Again, if you guys want a tutorial on how to do any of these bosses, do let me know. If you guys want some one-on-one time or 2-on-1 or some group study of how do we do these bosses, do let me know too, because we are working together. We're not each other's competition. We are our own peoples. And lastly, I'm going to show you what it looks like to have a fully liberated weapon. So I'm on a character that I liberated Liberated this past, I guess, Challenger World. So in Challenger World 2, I am currently wearing a 0-star arcane weapon that isn't flamed nor potentialed. So I guess that's kind of unfair, but this is the final Genesis sword. It comes with an automatic 22 stars. I flamed it so I can get a little bit more damage from it, and I have a legendary potential, and I have a magnificent soul of Hewwwwoooooo magnificent soul for 3% that you got or will get from the Genesis pass once you completed everything. And yeah, this is just it's a 37 mil increase, and it's completely way better than any other weapon that you will currently have. So if I wear this instead of my arcane Umbra, I will be at a whopping 70 mil. Yeah, I mean, it'll be something that you will keep for a very long time until something called Destiny Liberation. And we don't talk about Destiny Liberation just yet, because Destiny Liberation essentially will have you be fighting these super hardcore bosses like Mart Saren, Kaling, Limbo, maybe Kalos, maybe essentially just all the harder bosses that, like, I don't even know what the heck I'm doing, right? Like, we don't worry about that for now. We just worry about getting you guys to Genesis Liberate and getting you guys to a position where you can start learning and having a little bit more fun on the game and getting quite a lot of bit more mesos, right? If you guys have any other questions, do let me know. And if I didn't explain something well enough, do also let me know, and hopefully I can clarify what the heck is going on. But essentially, that is how you do your Genesis Liberation quests, and that is how you essentially get your super quote-unquote endgame weapon for now. And if you guys want to know how to defeat any of the bosses, or if you guys need help learning any of the bosses, do let me know, and I'll try my best to help you guys out. That's about it, I guess. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys have an amazing Challenger World 3. I will make another video about Challenger World, so do look forward to that. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Bing bong!